talking about Home Run Copywriters course. Write sales copy that turns suspicious readers into trusting, eager to buy customers at the blink of an eye. Avoiding a strikeout is what we're going to be talking in this training. We're going to be talking about the AIDA, marketing's oldest formula and the fundamentals every copywriter should know. Double or triple conversions with your existing sales letter, or write a brand new killer one that takes your visitor from suspicious reader and turns them into a trusting, eager to buy customer at the blink of an eye. A lot of people got some really bad looking sales copy out there. They're like, I'm getting traffic, but I'm just not sure why nobody's buying. And when you go to look at their sales copy that they're using, you understand right away why that's happening. Using this kind of a formula and what we're going to be talking about in this training, the tips that we're going to be talking about is going to help you take that basically dead sales copy and turn it into something that's going to get somebody to actually take action, whether it's signing up to as a subscriber on your list, if it's getting something for free, or if it's actually clicking on a buy now button, whatever it is that you're looking for them to take action and do, that's what you should be able to do after this course. The AIDA Home Run Copywriters model, and here's basically the model. Starting at first base with our A, we have attention, and we're going to cover each one of these here in just a little bit. Second base, we've got interest. D for the third base is desire, and our home run plate is when we get them to take action, that required action that we're asking somebody to take, which is usually down at the end of the sales copy. But you've got to get them there first. And that starts with grabbing their attention, getting them to be interested, getting them to have the desire, and that desire is to take action at the very end. All right, the first one is attention. Get your readers' attention. If you want your sales letter to have an impact on your readers, it must first get their attention and cause them to want to read further. And of course, we understand that this is going to be your headline. When somebody shows up to your page, or if it's if it's like an email that you're sending out, it's going to be your subject line, or if it's an article or a blog post, it's going to be the title. You need to get their attention first and encourage them to read further. Your reader will be interested only in knowing what's in it for me. Why should I invest my time in reading on? So basically, when they show up to your sales page, the very first thing that they need to notice is that this is something that's relevant to me. If they do not notice that, they're going to end up taking off right away, and you've wasted your time in the investment in getting that traffic to your sales page or to your squeeze page or to open up your email or whatever it is that you've written this copy for. If you do not make it so that it's relevant to them, they're going to move on. And the way to get to basically make sure that it's relevant is understanding how to research it properly and knowing that what you are writing is going to be something that your target audience is interested in. This all is going to start with the headline, like I just mentioned. Your headline must capture their attention. It must say what you're about to read is relevant to you. It must give them benefits of what they're going to receive and get them to read further. And that's what the purpose of that headline is for, is to grab attention and encourage them to keep on reading. Here's kind of a little bit of what we're talking about. Here's kind of a headline. When you show up to that page, right away, you need to be able to capture their attention. You know, we got tired of losing money on advertising because your sales letter won't convert the visitor to your website into paying customers. Well, you know, a lot of people are running into that problem. You're identifying the problem already, so they're like, yes, that's me. You know, discover how to hit your sales out of the park by following the simple and proven step-by-step home run hitting methods to creating hypnotic sales copy that turns visitors into eager to buy paying customers. We'll be talking here a little bit about the sales or the headline and stuff and what it needs to include, but basically that headline has got to say, yes, it's relevant, and yes, it wants me to move forward down the page, and that's exactly what it's supposed to do. Nothing else. It's not to really sell them on anything yet. It's just to get their attention and keep them where they're at right now and get them to start moving down the page. the rest of the sales page or your message is going to be crafted to continue to keep them reading all the way down to your call to action. Second one is interest. You need to gain your reader's interest. You must clasp the reader's interest by showing him why he needs your product or service. You have to create a want for your product or service. You need to let your reader know how his or her life will become easier with your product. Show the reader what is missing by not even trying the product. So basically, you've got to show them right away, you've got to grab their attention and then get them interested. You've got to be able to start showing them why they're going to need this product. You've got to create a want for your product or service. You've got a lot of people that are coming, like we said a little earlier, from some bad experiences. And they're going to be very skeptical. And it's your job, it's not their job to make a decision on it right at that time. It's your job to make them decide that this is something that is going to be needed by them and to take the action that you're looking for them to take. You're going to be writing your sales letter, letting them showing them, here's your problem. This is the problem. I've identified your problem and I've got the solution. And let me show you how much easier your life is going to be if you'll just keep going down this sales page and take action today. I want to show you how much easier your life can be. You've got to show them that they're going to be missing out. If they don't take action today, that they're going to be missing out on what you have to offer. You need to gain your reader's interest by connecting. And that is going to be your story. So many people go, I don't really know what makes me different about anybody else. One of the biggest things that's going to differentiate you from anybody else that is out there is going to be your story. Your story is very important. You need to, everybody's got a story to tell. And one of the things you need to do right now is craft that story that you have. Write it out so that you know your story. It's that you've got it written out so that you're ready to use it. You're ready to tell it whenever you have to tell that story. People will relate to your story. There's been times where I've written sales copy that people have come back to me and said, the only reason I bought this was because I related to your story. That helped me to trust in the person that you are. I seen that was something that I was able to identify with. And your story is unique, and other people are going to identify with you through that. You're going to be able to have a connection with them. And that getting that interest in their first part of your sales copy is very important, that you start connecting with that reader right then and there. You need to basically empathize with them, with the problems that they're having, letting them showing them that you understand exactly what they're going through. But don't worry, just hang on for a little bit because help has arrived, and I'm going to show you how. Third is the desire to create desire. Tell the reader how exactly he or she will benefit from your product. Paint a picture in the reader's mind. Get them to realize how your product can benefit them, how convenient it is for them to get it, and how comfortable life will be for them afterwards. Generalities are less convincing. Specific details are far more believable. Here's an example. Within 3 weeks, you will have lost 15 pounds. Imagine the compliments pouring in from your spouse. Think how gorgeous you'll look in the new swimsuit. Now, when we talk about that little example right there, it starts painting a picture, but I want you to notice something about this. This is very targeted to a very specific audience. This probably is not going to be targeted to most men. It's probably not going to be targeted to a lot of people that maybe are really overweight, that 15 pounds isn't going to really make a difference. It's, if I was to come across something, I could lose, 40 pounds right now and no problem whatsoever. So I'm looking at 15 pounds like, that's no big deal. What about more than that? So that example right there is going to be very targeted. Most guys, you're not going to use the word gorgeous, because you're going to use different wording for them. So you're probably targeting somebody that just, is already looking, pretty good. They're just, they just held that swimsuit up, or they got into it, the next year, and it just doesn't fit right, and they need to lose a little bit of weight, and it's probably a female, of that, because you're using words like gorgeous. So you know who your audience is, and you're very targeted with the words that you're using, and that's what you need to do with your sales copy. You need to paint a picture. And with that, you want to get this person basically going in, looking in that mirror, holding that swimsuit up, going, yes, I can see